Well, I think it's been a wake-up call for the Europeans. I mean, this is not new. President Trump's been talking about the lack of seriousness from Europe for the last 8 years, and so that there's been some very minor improvements in military spending and defense and security spending, but really just at the margins. The largest economies haven't really moved the needle. You might see some changes from Germany with agreeing to move defense and security outside of the debt break. So you might see some movement, but generally speaking, I think the President Trump's most recent actions are just another wake-up call to the Europeans. The U.S. has been providing security for generations, for 80 years, and at a great expense to the American taxpayer. And I do think that the Europeans have benefited from that, obviously benefited greatly. And also keep in mind you have a $180 billion trade deficit between the EU and the US. So there's some real financial implications here. That's not to suggest that seizing 300 billion in Russian assets is the right move because they feel like they have to, find some resources somewhere. I think they would be better to change their policies on defense and security spending, liberate their economies by deregulating and and uh, and even liberating the energy sector in those countries to stop the dependence on imports, specifically Russian imports. So there's a lot of work to do in Europe. I don't think it's only about support for Ukraine. I think it's a much bigger picture. The Europeans bought $22 billion worth of Russian oil, gas, and coal last year. This isn't pre-invasion numbers, from 2021. This isn't even pre-Crimea invasion numbers from a decade ago. So, there's a lot of work to do in Europe, and I think this might be the beginning of fixing those problems, but I've yet to see that.
Mhm.